Hello, my friends. It's Natasha. Thanks for joining me. I have a Pilates sculpting drills based class. No equipment needed until the end. We'll have a dumbbell round of drills, and that's optional, of course. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come to a halfway fold. Using your core to hold yourself in place, swing the arms over the head. And then drop into a forward fold. Shake out that head, yes and no. Bend the knees until you can plant the hands down, even if your hands are a little further away, and rock back and forth from the fingertips to the heels. Fingertips, press the shoulders down, heels, sitting into a yogi squat. We'll take a thoracic twist, stretch one arm to sky, rotate, other arm to sky, twist. Counter stretch on the back of the hands briefly, and then walk into downward facing dog, pedaling out, bending one knee, bending the other knee, maybe adding a little twisting action, knee twists under the body. Just kind of explore here. Widen your stance. We'll take a spinal roll, wave it forward, hit your plank, and then swoosh those hips through to up dog, squeezing your shoulder blades behind you, then go back, rounding the spine, down dog. Round the spine, tidal wave forward, swoosh those hips through, shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades back, pressing back to downward facing dog. This time as you roll forward, we're going to lower the thighs to the floor, bend the elbows, cobra, hamstring curl, right, left, right, left. Sit back, extended child's pose. Bring your elbows to the mat, thumbs back to the base of the skull. And then we'll roll on up. Kneeling side bends, reach right, reach left, twist right, twist left. Just some quick movement to get the body going. If you need more time to warm up, please take it. Otherwise, we're going to go into some time drills. We are starting with a plank walk, so take a moment to shake out your wrists, circle them, blink your fingers. Meet me standing at the back of your mat with space in front of you for drill one. We're starting with a rag doll. Tuck the chin, roll down to the floor, walk out and plank. Go. Roll down, plank walk, spread your fingers, push up, elbows back, and then walk it in. Squat, releve, sit hips down, pop up onto toes. Squat, walk. Walk forward to plank, one push up. Take your time, walk back. Sit in your chair, releve on toes, sit back in your chair and crawl it forward. Plank walk, one big push up. You could do that on the knees if you need to. Walk back, sit in your chair. Releve, balance on your toes, sit to your chair. You got it. Find a nice pace that works for you. On that push-up, draw the elbows back, the heart and gaze forward. 8 seconds. Try to squeeze another round in. And rest. It's a brief recovery. 15 seconds. Come down to seated and find yourself in a forward fold. It's a Pilates slow roll back, legs up, bow and arrow legs down, roll up. Here we go. Stack the spine, round the spine, tuck the chin, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Now press the arms down and the legs up. Bend one knee, straighten the other, bow and arrow down, up, legs down, arms over the head, tuck the chin and roll up. Forward fold. Do it again. Straight spine, roll down. Arms come down as the legs squeeze up, then bow and arrow, passe, leg drop, passe, leg drop. Legs down, arms up. Try to roll up without momentum if you can and fold. You got it. Let's try to get 2 more rounds in, maybe. As the legs come up, the hands swing down, and we got those little passe bow and arrow legs. Legs go down, arms go up, roll on up. Get started on that next round, roll it down. Lift the legs, little leg drops, passe, and you did it. Some side plank work. Come down on your left hand, take your top leg over your bottom leg, lift into side plank. It's one plie, one hip dip. So think of like a squat in plank. Go, plie, dip your hips towards your heels, and then dip your hips towards your wrist, little mermaid drop. Plie, knees part, hips dip, then dip your hips down towards your wrist. This one's gonna feel long. We're staying here the whole time. Do the best you can. If you need to sit on the plie and the hip dip, you could pause and sit and then lift that weight back up by engaging your shoulder and your core muscles. Take your time, use your breath. Exhale, lift, plie, and squeeze, side body stretch, dip, and squeeze. Keep it up. Beautiful job. Come into a standing position. We have a plie, side lunge, step back to push up. I don't have a lot of space on this one, so mine's gonna look a little awkward. Hopefully you have more space. Come to the right side of your mat, plie, side bend to the left. Now hands down, left foot hops back, push up. Hop the left foot forward, side lunge, reset. Toes wide, plie, side bend, hip back, left knee bends, left foot stretches back, steps forward, and reset. So plie, side lunge, that bent knee steps or hops back, push up with like an L-shaped leg, step forward, side lunge, stand. Plie, side lunge to the left, hands down, left foot hops back, push up, left foot hops forward, side lunge, and stand. You got it. Plie, side lunge, hop back to a L-legged push-up. Hopefully you have more space than me. I'm really trying to get this in here. Rest. We're going back to our side plank, coming down on the right hand. You know the drill. It's that little plie into hip dip. Take your top leg over your bottom leg. Plie and hip dip. Widen the knees, make a diamond, and then lower the hip, mermaid. A lot of oblique and core strength and a lot of shoulder. That bottom shoulder is working hard. Again, if you need a moment to rest, you can always sit in your plie or sit in your hip dip for a moment and then get back in when you're ready. Use the breath, exhale on exertion. Forced exhalation that engages the core muscles. Think of working through water, really activating those muscles. And rest. Come on up for the same drill as the one before, that plie, side lunge, hop back to push up, this time moving to the right. So we have wide leg, plie, knees and toes wide. Go, side lunge to the right, hands down, hop the right foot back, L-shape, push up, hop the right foot forward, side lunge, straighten out. Toes and knees wide, plie, side lunge, hands down, right foot hops back, the bent knee hops back, then hops forward into the side lunge. Keep it up. Try to get that sequence and just, again, make it your own. Find your own pacing, your own level of the push-up, of the hop. If you have more mobility or range of motion, maybe you split those legs a little wider in that L-shaped push-up. Or you modify by bringing the knee down on the push-up. Always options to modify or amplify. And rest. Moving back to a side body exercise, this time on the forearm. Take it onto the left forearm. Stack your knees and hips. We're going to lift the hips and kick the leg to the side. Go. Elbow behind head. Twist the elbow down and up, then swing the leg forward and back. Try it again. Hip thrust, leg lift. Trunk rotation, elbow down and up. Swing the leg forward, swing the leg, hamstring curl back like you're trying to do an arabesque. Repeat. Hip thrust, leg lifts, elbow rotates down and up, swing the leg forward, hamstring curl, reach back towards that head. Keep it up. Hip thrust, upper body rotates down, up, leg swings forward and curls back behind you with intention. Find your range of motion. Lift that leg high, twist the elbow low, high, swing the leg high forward and then really long behind you. Go for your mobility, your active range of motion. So finding those edges and using the muscles to get there. Beautiful. Come on to your back. We have some bridge work and we're going to do this on toes for a little added instability. We start with 2 bridge lifts, alternating knee tuck bridge lifts into low boat. Here we go. Up and down on the toes, then single leg, tuck one knee, still high on the toes, other knee, rock yourself to low boat, and then little rocks on the sacrum. Repeat. Hip thrust, 2 feet down, then alternate 1 foot up, 1 foot down, one other foot, rock and roll here. Engage the glutes. Hollow body hold, rock, and back to your bridge. 2 hip thrusts, alternating leg hip thrusts, and a little rock and roll in low boat, maybe 3 here, and come back to bridge. Thrust for 2, single leg lift for 2, stay high on the toes, tuck your chin, rock and roll. Awesome. Coming back to your side body work, this time on the right forearm. You've done it before. Bring that elbow under your shoulder, push the shoulder down, knees angle diagonal, stack hips and knees. Here we go. We have hip thrust, leg lifts. Rotate that top elbow down and up, trunk rotation. Swing the leg forward, swing the leg back, reaching toes to head. Hip thrust, twist, swing forward, hamstring curl, reach back. Imagine you're working through water and you're really actively finding those edges of your flexibility. Hip thrust, leg lift, trunk rotation. Reach those toes forward as you sit the hips back and then swing the hamstring curl, reach toes to head. Try to be fluid and graceful, 10 more seconds. Awesome. Come into downward facing dog. For the next one, we have down dog split, tuck, step forward into lunge, alternating legs. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, down dog. Right leg is going to lift, split, high tuck, knee high up to the nose. Stretch, split, step forward, bend both knees, lunge, hands down, step back. Left toes split, up, tuck, lift, step through. So moving pretty quickly here. Find a pace that works for you. Step back and switch. Right leg splits up, it tucks, it extends, and it steps through. You don't have to go my pace. Or maybe you do push for speed once you get to know the drill. We'll get that heart rate up. And as always, you could do 2 rounds of these exercises if you'd like. First time getting to know the drills, second time pushing a little harder, maybe a little faster. Tuck, split, step forward, lunge. You did it. Rest. Come down to the knees. Next one starts in tabletop. 2 donkey kick leg extensions, then 2 knees, chest, chin push-ups, extending the legs behind you, and we'll alternate. So here we go, right toes up. Donkey kick right for 2, then leg extends and drop knees, chest, chin push-up, toes to sky, switch. Left donkey kicks, bent knee, toes to sky, and then straighten, extend, bending the elbows into a push-up, knees, chest, chin. That's all it is. 2 donkey kicks, toes to sky, and then 2 leg extensions with the push-up. Knees, chest, and chin. See if you can get deep on those push-ups, if it feels good. And get that nice leg extension, toes towards sky. Core is active, shoulders pressing down. Spread the fingers. Turn the creases of the elbows forward. Strength in the upper body too. Connect to the breath. Exhale as you press away. Perfect. Come on down to your back. We have a twisting knee tuck to a leg diagonal extension, or we're going to stack our hips, shoulders to a side laying position. Send your right arm out. Here we go. We're going to tuck our knees to the right, high up to the armpit, and then diagonal low boat. Side tuck, twisting boat. Side tuck, twist now. We're going to start to twist and then stack away. Tuck to the right, stack your hips and shoulders, squeeze the butt back, legs back to a side laying balance. So now we are making the move bigger, starting a little smaller and then making it bigger. Side tuck to the right, stack to the left. And challenge that. Maybe you lift onto your forearm, try to squeeze the legs up and stack back. I call that one floppy fish because it's quite hard to balance on your side body with your legs lifted, and maybe you try to lift both arms up, which is even harder. Twisting tuck, side lay, balance, squeeze. Awesome. That's a fun one. Next one starts from seated, roll to boat, roll, jump back, come down on the knees. Hip hinge in kneeling position. All right, here we go. Rolling like a ball or straight legs, catch your boat. Now roll, bring the feet down, jump back. Bring the knees down gently, hinge the right arm back. Jump forward, boat, roll. Find that teaser balance at the top, then bring the feet down, hands down, jump back, kneel. Left hand reaches back, hip hinge. We got the sequence. Jump forward, boat, roll to boat. Roll, hands down. If you struggle with that move, bring your feet really wide, mat width apart might help. Hinge the right arm back, hands down, jump forward and sit. So in the jump forward and jump back, maybe you really widen your feet. Make sure you are using momentum to get the shoulders forward, countering your weight. You got this. Awesome. We'll go back to the other side of that twisting knee tuck to leg extension to side stack. So remember, we start just going to a diagonal boat. Left hand out. Tuck your knees to your left bicep and then diagonal to low boat to the right. Knees twist left, extend right. Knees twist left, tuck it in and extend, and then start to stack into that side laying position. Now we're going to start to stack and squeeze the glutes back. You're pushing your hips forward, trying to stack everything into a line. Keep those legs lifted off the floor. Keep your chin tucked a little bit so it's just going along for the ride, not holding you back. Core is on. Knees tucked tightly to the left. Side stack to the right, maybe challenging that bottom arm to lift as well. Feeling that floppy fish action of trying to stabilize. Almost there. Get another good one in. Big tuck to the left, stack to the right. Rest. This is drill 15, our final drill. Stay on your back. We have crisscross to a reverse curl little plow lift. Here we go. Hands behind head. Crisscross for 4, 3, 2, exhale 1. Now both legs over the head, hover, and reset. Crisscross 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch the other leg long, then reach those legs over the head. See if you can find a holding point and roll back. And you can play with that reverse curl action, whether you want to bring the legs all the way over or maybe trying to stack your legs up over your shoulders into like a little shoulder stand using your core. Wherever you want to take that reverse curl, using your core muscles. 4 crisscross twists and a reverse curl. Freeze for a moment, use your abdominal muscles, then roll down. Make this one your best. We are just about done with these Pilates time drills. And you did it. We're going to take some stretches. I'm sure your abs are feeling it, so make your way down to your belly for a couple little Cobra Rolls. Then we have an optional 4 exercise round of dumbbell drills. I have my 15s, which did feel pretty heavy after this, but grab what you can, see if you can hang in for this dumbbell round, or you could repeat the Pilates drills again. So take time, drink water, walk around, or just stretch anything you need to. I recommend some Cobra right here to just lengthen out through the abdominals. That did a lot of work for us. Whatever feels good for you. And then be sure to grab your dumbbells and meet me back. This is your active recovery time. You can also choose to repeat the dumbbell set twice through. I'm only going to do it once through, and it's 1 minute work, 15 seconds rest. They are pretty easy as far as the combination goes, but they are as hard as you want them as far as you picking what weight size you use. First drill will be a clean to squat. That's it. We're going to rack those weights. You can drive it up with your hips if you're carrying heavy weights, or it's more like a little bicep curl squat if you have light dumbbells. I'm going to preview the move here, show you what it looks like since I set up the timer wrong. Here we go. It's a clean to squat. And now here comes the real countdown. 6 seconds, pick up those dumbbells, clean the weight, sit in your chair, squat, dip, clean, squat. You can go at your own pace. Hopefully you have a set of challenging weights that makes this a little bit hard for you. Remember to use the hips to thrust as you rack and then sit in your chair. It could be one full movement where you clean and squat kind of at the same time, or it could be 2 separate moves where you clean the weights, rack them, and then squat. Play around with different styles, different pacing. Maybe different depth in your squat. I start to go really deep here. Exhale to drive up out of the squat. Great work. 15 seconds to rest. Then you're going to bring the weights back into the rack position. Lateral lunge, push press. Side to side. Go ahead and rack the weights. Start with your feet wide on your mat so you have space. Moving lateral. Rack your weights. And here you go. You're going to sit into one leg. Side squat. In the middle, push press. So we are trying to do the push press without momentum here. If your weights start to get heavy, it's okay to add a little bit of a jump again from the hips, bending the knees and charging the weights up. Try to press those elbows up strong using your lats and shoulders. on the press. So these 15 pounds start to feel a bit heavy for me by the end of this one. Great work. Set the weights down. We only need one dumbbell for the next one. It's a clean snatch to lunge, 30 seconds one foot, 30 seconds the other side. Unless you're doing this for 2 rounds, you could keep it right first time, left second time. So here we go. Opposite leg deadlifts back. Then you clean the weight, driving it over the head as you step back to a lunge. Try to do a balancing deadlift. Clean is just throwing that weight through a high pull that keeps going over the head, and lunge. You can tap the foot down at any point. You don't have to hold the balance. Do the best you can. You could make it a deadlift with a stag leg as well. All right, switch sides if you're only doing this once. Deadlift, clean the weight up, drive it up with power, and lunge back that opposite leg, that right leg. Clean lunge, 90-degree knees, flat back, strong engaged core, strong shoulder, don't let that elbow sag. And rest. One more exercise. Come on down to your knees. If you have light weights, use both dumbbells. Heavier, maybe just one. Jump back to plank push-up. Kneeling bicep curl. If you have a big weight, you could jump back, go ahead with your weights on the dumbbell or on both, and then bicep curl in your kneeling position, or just place your hands on the floor, jump back, push up, kneeling bicep curl. Now the challenge here is maybe you try to jump back and bend the elbows at the same time, so you catch yourself in that low push-up or chaturanga in yoga. Jump back, bend the elbows, jump in, bicep curl. You can try both ways, landing in plank and then push up, or trying to go directly to that low plank. That will help you if you're trying to work on any of that jumping back in yoga, going through your half flow vinyasa. Or jumping back from crow, great way to practice. Keep it up. Try to use no momentum on that bicep curl. Really just hug the elbows in, curl, and set it down. You did it. Feel free to repeat that dumbbell series one more time, or we're just going to quickly stretch out together. Go ahead and take it into child's pose. Then we'll gaze forward and snake the body through. Bend the elbows, face, neck, chest, slithers to the mat. Cobra. Press yourself back into child's pose. Try that 2 more times. Slithering, bending the elbows, sliding to the belly. Cobra. Press back into child's pose. And one more time. Elbows hover, slither face, neck, chest, and push up, cobra. Press back to child's pose. Come into a kneeling position. Take a deep breath in and out. We'll do some gentle camels. Tuck your left toes, reach your right arm back. See if you can reach back for your heel. Moving from left to right a few times, pushing the hips up, driving the chest up. Again, side to side, maybe trying to create a little bit deeper of a back bend. It helps to tuck your toe under so you have a little more height to reach for it. And slide that right foot out into a low lunge. Play around with sinking and then taking a pelvic tilt, tucking the hips under, sending the hips back to a half split, hamstring stretch. Extra credit for being able to lift that heel off of the mat and slide the foot back for the other side. Take your time here. If you want to go slower than I'm cueing, no problem. Now we're lunging on the left, rocking back and forth a few times to a knee over toe lunge, to a pelvic tilt, And then to your half split. Flex the toes, stretch into those hamstrings, and then maybe try to cat the back and lift that heel off the floor with the core, hip flexor, quad. Come back to kneeling, cactus, back bend, side bend like we did in the beginning, just work lateral, stretching to the side, and then adding a twist, twist right, twist left, counter stretch on those wrists, wiggle those fingers. Anything you need to do here. Extra credit to try and hop from kneeling to low squat. And then take a couple more breaths in standing. Thank you so much. Let me know how it went. I'll see you soon.